Hi everyone, welcome to the video. In this video, I'm going to see how we can perform data-driven testing inside of Bruno. We already covered this in Bruno CLI section, but we are going to see how we can do the same thing inside of Bruno app. How we can fetch values from your CSV and JSON files and perform a data-driven testing in the bulk against your APIs. So let's get started. And as you can see, I have a Bruno folder here, and I have a folder. I have a collection called Bruno. Inside that, I have a runner API folder, and I have this runner var request. Before doing that, just two prerequisites for this. You need a collection with CSV and JSON files inside that. I will just quickly show you what I have inside a collection. So I will just quickly open a terminal, and I have already opened this in my terminal. So I will just say ls, and I will see that all my files are appear here, and ls hyphen la, and yeah, we are here. We are going to see all the list, and as you can see, I have a test dot data json, test dot data.csv. I will just quickly show. I'll just quickly show you the content of it, and as you can see, I have a this content in CSV file, and if I want to show you the content of my JSON file, which is array of objects, and I have 3 objects inside that. So you can just quickly create these values if you don't have. Feel free to create those with any random name. So you can touch, and you can just create a files, and you can open a Nano or Vim editor, whichever you prefer, and you can just open and add a data to it, and you can add a CSV and JSON file. So you need CSV and JSON, these two things inside your collection, and then you can do the same thing by the following this video and perform data-driven testing inside your collection. So let's get back to Bruno, and let's see how we can do that. So I have a Bruno request. Feel free to use this request, which is public. The Bruno server. We're going to select a JSON data, and I'm going to see name, and I will add this as a name here. I will put this in a string because in a JSON data we are passing this in a string, and I will do that. And also we have to add one more value called role, because I already showed you that we have two values called name and role. So I will just put this, I will do this, and yeah, we have to wrap this in a curly brackets, because that's how Bruno understand the value of we are fetching from variables, runtime variables, or we are getting from the CSV JSON data. So we will execute this, and as you can see, we are sending the values. Right now the values are not here because we haven't run the collection. Once we run the collection, the values will be automatically fetched from your CSV and JSON files, and it will turn into green, and it will test every value you have inside a collection, and it will run multiple times. And if you just run a collection single time, so it will just take the value of the last. It will execute all, but end up with getting a last value. So as you can see that I have 3 values, and I'm going to execute the collection thrice because I have 3 values, and I want to execute this collection to run every request against this API and use the values as I have a data for 3 rows. And I will going to click on run with the parameters. I will say I have to run this 3 times. You can run in a parallel as well, but we don't need to. We want to run the collection in a sequential way, and once you click on run collection, you can see that it's executing one by one. So we have 8 requests, 8, 9, 10 requests inside a collection, and if I click here, the first value which we are passing here is that Ganesh, and I have to cancel this because we haven't passed the CSV file. So once you click on here, you have to click on number of iteration you want. I'm performing 3 because I have a data of 3 values, and I want to test against all the 3 values I have. And I will take this CSV file. I will select the CSV file, and I will run the collection, and it's executing. So previously we haven't selected the file, so it's make no sense if you don't have a file and we are running a collection. So the first iteration of our collection is executed successfully. As you can see, we have a 10 requests, and it's failed 0. So the test, this API is failed because we have some assertion which are not passing. So but rest of the collection is executed successfully. So we have this API called runner API folder, and inside that we have a runner var. So if you go to runner API folder, inside that runner var request, and if I execute this, you can see in a response I'm receiving this name and the row or the role as a devrel inside of Bruno. And if I go back to second iteration, I just want to show that this is the first value which we have, and this is we are testing for second value. So we are expecting that the value would be Kishore here, because this is a CSV file, we pass CSV, not a JSON. So if you go here and if you just test this, so you can see that Kishore, which coming from Kishore Finance from here, and you can see the value. Again, you can do the same thing here, and you can test for third value, which is here, and we are expecting that the bar is D1. So you can see here, which is actually a Deepak, but it's a spelling mistake. But yeah, we can see the values here, and this is how you can perform a data-driven testing when we have a large of CSV and JSON data. We have number of rows, number of variables inside a CSV files or JSON data, and you want to perform that particular values inside your Bruno, and that's how you can run a collection. That's how you can get a value. So once your collection is once your collection executed successfully, you can download the report from here. I will just quickly click on this and download the report, and the file will save wherever you want to store that file. So I will open that, and I will store report.html, and I already have created previously one, so I'm replacing that. And if I go to the same directory, I will just open my terminal, and I will say that I want to go to desktop and echo Bruno folder. So first we have to get back to home directory, and then you can see echo Bruno. And if I want to see open report.html, the file will execute here, and as you can see that we have a 10 request, which is one failed and 9, and what are the performance of it, and what are the things you need to measure, and that's how you can improve the performance as well. So you can see the number of iteration we have executed 1, 2, 3, the number of requests executed successfully, number of requests failed, and the more information available here. You can toggle this if you want to see just failed request, but if you want to see all the requests, you can just untoggle it, and you can see that all the information. So this is my request, which is took 879 ms, the test duration, and the name of Bruno, and all bunch of stuff, iteration 2, 3, and this is the request which we executed, and we received the values. In the iteration third, we received the deeper SD1, as I already showed you. So this is how you can download HTML file, you can measure a performance, and you can run a collection, and you can see all the values there. So get back to Bruno here, and I'll just quickly close this thing. And this is how you can perform a large file or large data against your API, where you have a large set of JSON file or CSV data and want to check the data-driven testing inside of Bruno, how you can perform this. And if you want to do the same thing on the CLI, check out my Bruno CLI video. I already covered this. So this is the stuff. This is how you can do that. Right now, if you want to access these values, it's pretty straightforward. If you want to do a console log, and you can just access the same thing as we normally access. So brew.getWhere, and what is the name of the variable. So the name of the variable is name here, and you can access this. If I want to execute, I will just quickly open my dev tools, and if I execute this request, you will see that name is not defined. Dot get where, and you can see that we have received the last value, which is available at collection, which is coming from collection. This is the last value of the CSV file we have there, and we are receiving this value. So we have to put this in double quotes to get the value, and you can do that. But if you want to perform more scripting here, so you can do one more thing. So if you go to collection level, we have particular APIs which you can use at your collection level, and you can check out in the console. So I will just quickly delete this, and if you go to documentation on Bruno, so I will say pro, we already have this open. So if you go to Bruno documentation and to a test and script section in the core features, and inside that running an automation and data driven testing. So this is how you can run an example. You can create a folder. This is a complete guide which walk you through how you can create a collection, how you can add a request for a basic example, and just how can add a value. This is a CSV format. This is a JSON data. You can actually copy these values and you can create a CSV JSON file with a extension and can store this value there. Just for example, if you want to use, and you can put the values there. And if you want to access, you can access with this name and email, like this same syntax which we followed. But on the CLI, if you want to, you can go here, Bruno CLI overview, and it will walk you through how you can perform the data-driven testing with the CLI as well. But one thing here, if you want to do a more scripting stuff, if imagine that you want to just actually count the number of current index which collection is executing, or what are the current value is passing to the that particular iteration from CSV or JSON data. So you can actually use this APIs, which is Bruno Runner iteration data. Just make sure you are using this at collection script. So while running a collection runner, it will actually execute all the stuff against every request for the collection is going to execute. So if you want to do that, so I will just quickly take one or two examples, and we can move to another section called request execution and request filtering inside of Bruno, which is a new feature which is really amazing and just gives you a more control. So we'll talk about that in a bit, but before that, I will just quickly take a one or two example here. So this is example. If Bruno Runner iteration data has a user name, so okay, just go to. Okay, this is not something I want. I want Bruno. I'll just quickly delete this. Okay, so we have Bruno and Bruno iteration data. If I have the name, because we have a name property and it's going to execute against all the values which we are going to execute during a collection runner. Means like every request will execute 10 times, like 10 requests inside a collection, and 3 times we are going to execute an iteration. So Bruno Runner iteration data has name, so console log username exists in the current iteration. So it will execute the 30 times or more than 30, because we have a 10 requests is going to execute for all the collection. We'll just quickly see this. This is not a good example to do that, but just to give you the understanding of how things actually work at collection level script. So you can perform the iteration data, iteration count, if has value or not, the iteration index. There are a lot of APIs which are available on our official documentation. You can just go and search about this. The iteration index is what is the iteration index? Yeah, this is the total total iteration. If you want to count the total iteration, so you can take this. This is a good example. But we are going to see the iteration index as well. So I will just quickly execute this with the runner, and I would say, and to execute this, take a. This time we are going to see the JSON file. Previously we took CSV. Both things work same, no change, but it's just a kind of data you are passing. And once you do that, and we have a collection, everything set, just execute this thing. As you can see that every iteration we are executing, every request, and the value which we have in the data in the CSV file, the data is fetching from the values there and executing the request from every time, like because we have a name property and it's executing again and again. So I'm expecting that this is executed till 30 maybe, because we have a 10 requests inside of that. And yeah. So once we do that, I want to show one more thing or one more example which we can take. I will just quickly delete this, and I want to just show the iteration index. So if you execute this and if I delete this, save, go to runner, I will just say reset, run with parameters, select a file as a JSON, and selected as a 3, and if I execute as a run collection, so running iteration 0 0 0 0 0 in a 0 iteration in a like array start from 0 1 2. So if I add a value as a 3, so it will execute 0 1 2, and at at iteration 0, it's executing all the 10 requests inside that, and for every 10 request is executing the request, and it's just giving the iteration count. So here we are with the iteration count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and same thing for this 20, 30. So this is how we can perform, and you can just control a lot of stuff. Imagine a different use case of this when you have a lot of data and you want to test that if your iteration count is 0, 0, and if you have this particular value comes in, you want to stop the execution, or you want to remove particular request or something like that. So you can take this and you can improve your script, you can put a logic, and you can just perform the whatever the things you want to control there. So which gives you more control, and that's how you can change or you can manage stuff. So this is how you can perform data-driven testing. Share your feedback in the comments, and if you have any doubt, feel free to join the Discord. So the second part of this video, which we are going to see, is that how we can control the request and collection order execution inside a Bruno UI. So I will just quickly show you the thing. If I go to send request and how to send request, test and script, running an automation, manual testing. If you go here, as you can see that we have a section called managing request execution, where you can actually manage request execution with the tags and tag filtering as well, and reordering the request. So just give the basic overview here, how its feature, like what is the feature is about and how it works. So managing request execution is that if you have a particular tag, just imagine, as I mentioned here, smoke and sanity, and this is a very popular term in the world of QA testing engineers, where you have a particular tag like a smoke, and you just want to execute that particular request while running a collection runner, or doing a data-driven testing or something like that. And once you do that, so this runner will only execute the request which have the smoke tag or sanity tag. And if you want to exclude, you can do the same thing in the exclude section, where you can mention that I don't want to execute the request which have the smoke tag. So Bruno Collection Runner will remove the or ignore that request which have the smoke tag, and the request, it will only execute with the sanity tags. So let's get started and let's see how we can do that. So let's say I have this test API failing because we have one assertion. So we will just remove this, and if you go to settings and if you say that this is a sanity tag I want to execute, so I just want to execute the request with the sanity tag, and I want to ignore the request with, I want to ignore this request as smoke tag. So I'll just say smoke tag, and that's it. That's what exactly you have to do. So if you go to runner, and if you say I want to run collection, I'm not going to put any file or something here because we don't want. So if I go here, and maybe I have to select a file because we have values there. So maybe it's a good thing to add instead of filling a request. And if I run a collection, but before running a collection, you have to add filter request tags here. That's the important thing. So as you can see, I have added a tag as a sanity, and here I added a tag as a smoke. The runner is already showing that it's an auto-generated tag that I have a sanity tag I want to execute because this API include a sanity. So I want to execute the test only, and I don't want to execute this runner which has a smoke tag. And so we have a 10 requests inside a collection, and this won't will execute because we are excluding that particular request with the smoke tag, and I'm expecting that 9 requests will execute successfully, and we will see the response. So I will just minimize this and I will run this. So as I'm executing this, and as you can see in my first iteration, just only one request is executed with the tag called sanity. As you can see that it's 200 because we are not sending any data, so it's not executed. So if you go here, as you can see, I run my iteration 3 times, and I just executed a test because I said that I added this tag as a sanity and removed as a smoke. So So as you can see that you can control the request execution. You can feel free to add many tags there and just select this exclude or include things and just add tags which you want to include and with the request. This is very useful feature where if you have a bulk of APIs like 100 and 200 or thousands maybe, and you just want to see that requests which are failing. So add a fail tag to that particular request, which you can already well aware or know the behavior of that request, and just include that I just want to run the requests which are failing, and you will see the list of requests which are failing. You can take a node or create a data on it, and you can just create a log of it, which request need to resolve or work on it. So this is how you can see the use case of it. Or this is a very popular feature in the QA engineering or the testing engineers. But the next thing, which is just part of it, which you're going to see the reordering of the request. See, I have a 10 request 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inside a collection. I just want to execute this post, and I just want to execute this get, and I want to run this, and it will only execute these two requests. And you can select the order. I don't want to run this. I just want to go here, and yeah. And you can actually reorder the request execution. If you want to do this and if you want to do this, you just execute that, and you can see that things are will execute according to the way you have configured or you have selected, and that's it. So these are some new features which we have added. Feel free to explore and feel free to share your feedback in the comments. I will just close this save tools, and this is how you can perform data-driven testing inside of Bruno. How you can use the request execution order with the tags, and how you can reorder tags, reorder the execution with the collection runner feature. So this is something that I want to share today about the Bruno. If you have any questions or any queries, feel free to join Discord and share there, and share your comments in Discord. Thanks for joining this video. I would love to see you again for the next video which we are going to share, and stay tuned.